empower girls for a brighter tomorrow. After all, girl simply means gift in real life. As my people here in Africa would say, because we Africans, we love acrimonies and we love making ourselves special. With that being said, hello and welcome to Rendezvous here at Global TV with me, of course, Fauziya Lukman. And today we'll be exploring different insight and angle on the girl child. Like I said earlier on, the girl child means, yeah, exactly, gift in real life. And I have with me a very, very happy guest that I have today that, I don't know, it's just sitting close to her makes me smile. And I just can't help it because, I don't know, I've been seeing her a lot of times and I've been looking so forward to having this discussion with her. Like I said earlier, I have with me Hibba Suleiman Idris to discuss with. And with that being established, I will see you a while after this short break. Thank you. Welcome back to Rendezvous, and as I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about the girl child. And of course, I'm a girl. Please don't say I'm not a girl. To my mom, actually, I am still a girl and her baby. Maybe that's why I'm just so excited about this program. And then other than the fact that they go to school and help with housework, work in factories, make friends, care for elders and younger family members, we also prepare and take responsibilities to help with adulthood, especially. Now, Auntie Hibba, please allow me to call you Auntie Hibba, because I don't know, this your smile will just keep making me smile all and on and off. So I think maybe calling you Auntie Hibba will make me.
It's okay.
Thank you. And guys, tell me please, isn't she looking so beautiful? Oh, by the way, I love pink.
Thank you.
And you look great in pink. So Auntie Hibba, please, okay, personally, sometimes I hear this and I'm like, okay, what exactly? A lot of people in Africa and Nigeria, to be precise, will see girl child, girl child, girl child. And when you ask questions further, you find out that they don't even know what the girl child is in reality. They just say girl child, and they think just girl child is a child that is a girl. So what exactly does it mean to actually be a girl child?
Okay, thank you very much, Fauziya. You look pretty yourself.
Oh, thank you.
And back to the question you just asked. Actually, in simple terms, girl child means a female child that is between birth and adolescence, that is growing up and has not yet fully developed to be a woman. So I can say from age 0 to 17. So all the female children between 0 to 17 are considered girl child.
Oh my God, I'm glad you said that. Please, can you just emphasize on the age, please?
0 to 17.
Thank you very
much. So
much.
before you hit adulthood. So adulthood in several places starts at 18 years. So that's it. That's at 18 you get your license. At 18 you're allowed to work. At 18 you're done with university and etc. So the girl child is a female child between that age range.
Thank you very much. So let's come down to Nigeria and precise, because after all, in Nigeria, my country, of course, what exactly is the challenges that girl child in Nigeria faces most times?
Wow, I could say a lot. First, we have access to education. Some of them, their families are struggling and battling with poverty. So you find a lot of them on the streets hawking and all of that. Then teenage pregnancy, early child marriage, female gender mutilation. A lot of all of these come under the challenges that the girl child face. Harassment, they are not even being given equal ground to make decisions. Like some cultures would say where men are speaking, a woman should not talk.
Oh,
you know, those
God.
kind of things. So if it happens to a woman, you can imagine the girl child not being given equal opportunities.
Please tell me you had the part where she said men tell women to actually keep quiet. Yeah. But I'll keep you on suspense and we'll go on a little short break so that when we come back, we'll hear about that. welcome back, and I hope you have a little suspense. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it. I know, I can be troublesome at times, but then again, I'm a girl child. Please excuse me today. So, Auntie Heba, you said something about if the women go through that in the hands of the men, then you can imagine what the girl child goes through. And I'm like wondering, okay, said, what is the avenue to create awareness for these girl child issues in Nigeria?
Okay, luckily, being a digital marketer, that tells you a lot that from the internet space we can do. So social media is one of the areas where you can leverage upon. A lot of our youths are on the internet, and that's one way that if you pass a message today, it goes viral, especially with hashtags. Then you have mass media, your TV, radio, newspaper dailies, then campaigns, be them educational campaigns or some by the government. We have NGOs and advocacy campaigns that they also do. Then we have, you can even have influencers and celebrities that you could use, because some of them have millions of followers. So imagine somebody like Cristiano Ronaldo saying, say no to early child marriage. A lot of people will see it in a minimum time.
Instantly go viral.
Yes, and then another thing that you could leverage upon is our art and culture space, where you have music or art that you can send messages. Like imagine that something about girl child, the rights, her rights and her challenges being put in a song. It will make a larger impact when they hear that music. Like I have a song by Simisola, Simi, and where she was singing about woman. And it quickly went to the head of the charts. Yeah, and she was celebrating women. So all of these are ways where we can create avenue to pass the message across. Documentaries, me and you, tell a neighbor to tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Then also educational campaigns where you go from school to school, communities, educating them about the girl child, the challenges they face, and how they can protect the girl child and ensure that her well-being is preserved. So
speaking of school, now could poverty be a reason why most of the parents, especially the fathers, find it difficult in sending girl child into education? Be it at early age, you find them giving excuses, she's not yet ripe, she hasn't started talking, her mouth isn't sharp, and all of that. Like, could poverty be associated with that?
The answer to that question will be in two parts. It can be an excuse or a reason. So as a reason, they would have a genuine reason, being that probably they have an issue of poverty or lack of access to health care, or they are having problems of shelter. They don't even have a shelter. So before they would even think of school, they will first think of providing food to their kids. So that is a genuine reason. And under that, you could put it under structural reasons. Like then you have now an excuse. Like poverty, there will be an underlying reason why the father does not want to take that girl child to school, but he would hide under the fabric of its poverty. We don't have money, or according to Hausawas, we are looking for what to give them to eat. Actually, in the essence, you would see that they are hiding behind the facade of devaluing the education of the girl child. Some of them will tell you, after all, she would grow up and she would be in another man's house. Why should I train somebody's wife? Imagine that mentality.
Coming from the father.
Yes, coming from the father. And my own is just to train her, let her have, just let her grow up, and I'm as sure that she is okay, then she can
be off
for marriage.
Yeah, wow. Oh
so
my God.
It's the boys are usually considered first
before the girls.
Before the girls. So that's the excuse.
So doesn't that affect the girl child in way of security, expressiveness, and you make them so insecure and all of that?
Traumatized, you mean?
That also.
Yes. Sadly it is. And imagine you sending off a girl child at an early age into marriage, and without considering the risk factors, which are health-wise could be very fatal, because some of them might not be able to give birth to a child at that tender age on her own without proper Medicare. Yes, and then you have a lot of issues. She would have to, she will go through social isolation. She cannot be around people anymore because she's a small child who has given birth and she's now a mother. She cannot play freely with her mates. Then you have interruption in her education. She can't go to school, obviously. Then you have a lot of factors that would just interrupt her. Assuming she went to school and she had an education, she would have access to like economic opportunities.
Yeah,
she can be a doctor, she can be a lawyer, she can be, you know, she can be a breadwinner of her family. I see a lot of women these days breaking that bias that says it's only the man that should be a breadwinner. A lot of women are supporting their husband these days. So imagine the husband is not doing well, the wife is not doing anything, probably because she was put on an early age, she has no education. So how can she support her family? How can she support herself? How can she support her children? Then that generational passage of poverty from one generation to the other. Because if you look at it critically, you find children that are born into such circumstance following their mother's footsteps. My mother did not go to school, or maybe even the person that's coming to marry her daughter would tell her, look at your mother, at least she's a good example. She didn't go to school, she didn't need education. What are you going to school for? So just stay at home and take care of my kids. And the risk of that is tomorrow he loses his job, or tomorrow he is no more. Then what happens? What happens to that family? What happens to her children? So that's why we are here discussing this. So hopefully people out there would understand and know why it's very important to educate the girl child. It's very important to stop female gender mutilation. It's very important to allow them to have equal opportunities. It's very important to allow them to, you know, just be themselves. Yes.
And all of that. So Antiba, please tell us, how do you feel when you see girls, little girls that should be in school but are out in the street hawking and doing other random things at their age?
It is very sad to see, and it's disheartening. So, but curbing that, you would have to, it's a multifaceted approach that you would use, because you have to go to the root cause of why the girl is out there in the first place, then seek ways on which you can find alternative solutions for her. Like, could it be maybe she cannot afford, her families cannot afford to take her to school? Or is it that any reason, you just find out why and then solve it. So that way you would be able to make an impact on her life. There was this little girl, about 13, 14, that came to stay with me, and I took her from her family so that I'll be able to assist. She came only speaking Nupe. She doesn't know any other language, and she couldn't read or write. And as I speak to you today, she can speak fluent English, she can read and write. And she's also learning some stuff, vocational stuff, skills that she can use. She knows how to sew, she knows how to do some little things, and that's a way of empowering the girl child. And just like all religions say, if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. That's just it.
Oh my God, I already feel like hugging you, because I'm already smiling ear to ear, because I love it when I hear that, because some people take the whole women supporting women out of context.
Yes.
You find that in this present generation, or will I call it situation of society, women are the biggest enemy of each other.
And it shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so.
We have a lot of chances to help each other. You see one woman doing a business, and then instead of the people around her in her circles that are women to be the one to even if they won't buy it, they should at least make reference. They feel, okay, I can do better than that. I know I have the contacts, I have the means, and I have the capital. Let me just do it in a better way. How do you feel when you come across people like that, and how can we just curb that in a society? Do we create awareness? Do we sit them down and talk to them? Or do we just put it out there like we are not even supporting each other? Because I feel like it's underrated.
Yes, it is. And thank you for that question. There is a lot that we as a people can do. And like they will tell you, when you see something, you say something. And we know that this is a problem in our society. How can we help? Like if you ask, you start from the little kids, go to have educational campaigns that trains both the teachers, both the staff and the pupils on why it's important and for the girl child well-being and kind of challenges she faced and how they can protect her and sensitivity of it. Then also the girl child needs to be protected. She needs to be given equal opportunities. She needs to go to school in a safe environment, knowing that I would go to school, I would learn, there would be no issues on what could happen to me and all of that. So campaigns, advocacy by NGOs, collaboration with the government, collaboration with these NGOs, because some of them are actually, this is their focus. And so going with them, putting your hands together with them, you get a far better impact. Then also collaborating with the government so that they could implement policies and legislations that could support the girl child and her well-being and ensure that that girl child is protected. So those are various ways we can do that. Even through like the mass media, as I told you, social media and all of that. There's a lot we can do as a person.
Okay, so in a case of a child that has already gone through the traumatic experience and is obviously traumatized and depressed, how do we get that child to come out and associate with people regardless of what she must have been through? Because we know that at some point, the girl child is more prone to child trafficking, molestation, gender-based violence. So have you, and I have a problem particularly with the street hawking. That's why in most cases I raise that a lot, because I feel hurt whenever I see children, especially the female child, doing street hawking.
I think I would pass that on 50% of that to the government. If they can enforce those child labor laws, because they are already existing, to just make sure that people adhere to it. Get these children off the streets. Create shelter for them, and if they need one. Then for those that have lack of access to education, you would create scholarships or a way of empowering them, or even sponsorship to get them into school. And then for the one that you said has been traumatized, I think the best thing would be for counseling. There are support groups that actually have a very safe haven that they have created for the girl child, so that they could guide them on what to do. Okay, from this point, how they can come out of it better and stronger. You would see such girls even later coming to talk about their life, giving their testimonies, and they're even helping other ladies later on in life. And that's the kind of thing we want to see in our society. It's because something happened to you doesn't mean that's the end of the world. You learn from that experience. You try to see what went wrong, and knowing that it is not your fault, but see how you can. And then also the government can enforce these childcare helplines where children can call, just like we have emergency call numbers. They can call and report an abuse anonymously, and they would even be protected so that the person would not come back and do it a second time. and a lot of all these support services that they can render. That's why I say part of it I can give the government 50 to do, and then the other part the society. We have religious leaders which can talk to their groups. Then we have the community leaders. You have the emirs and all of that. They can talk to their people and educate them. With the support groups, these advocacy groups, some of them go from village to village, from town to town, state to state. So if they permit, they can come there and educate people on the sensitivity
of the girl child,
of the rights and challenges of the girl child, and why it is a terrible offense for those that did not know that it's an offense to put a girl child at an early age into marriage, female gender mutilation. Some people don't know. So you need sensitization campaigns and a lot of that. So it's on us as a community to protect that girl child. So that's why I said it's partly government, partly we, the community.
The community. Now, lastly, Auntie Hiba, I've had this situation whereby I saw this lady. So since I don't want to go explicit because she watches my program a lot, she would know I'm talking about her. And I'm trying to avoid the camera as much as I can because I don't want to get all teary. I'm talking about the girl child and I was so excited and all of that. Now, people like that have gone through the trauma. And then they went through the therapy. But the next thing people and the society advises them is marriage. They feel only when they get them married and they have a companion and people surrounding them in a relationship, in quote, that is the only way they will permanently heal. How do you think we can just penetrate the opposite sex on how to go about this? Because I feel at some point, is it that the religious leaders are not expressing the dangers well, or is it that the society itself is not even taking it the way it should be? They're just taking what is like beneficial to them, or in what case?
Some people hide under the vice of ignorance, and ignorance is not an excuse when, even for instance, in Islam, it discourages ignorance and says, go find knowledge even if it's in China. Yeah. So you cannot be in a country like Nigeria where there are civil laws and say it is not my business not to know these laws or not to know what is right and wrong. Okay, fine, you don't know. But our religious leaders, how can they help? We have Friday service every day at the Central Mosque and at different mosques. If these religious leaders can take it upon themselves to educate the people that are coming for prayers, to tell them that, even to educate them. Do you know that there is statutory rape? When a husband forces his wife, it's called statutory rape. So there are so many things that they don't know is wrong. So educate them, let them know that a girl child in our community in Nigeria is supposed to have equal rights as a male child. She needs to go to school. She has a right to school. She has a right to be heard. She has a right to religion. All are rights. They need to allow the girl child to grow. Tomorrow, if she's a doctor, she would be of great assistance to her family. And also, the government, like I will still go back to the government. There's a lot the government can do. They can create support services.
I'm glad I'm really glad you mentioned the government. So lastly, what exactly would you like to tell the Tinubu administration to do in order to help protect the girl child?
Sincerely, the girl child is our own gem, our diamond. If you educate a child, you educate a nation. She's a mother, she's a sister, she is a future queen. Please educate her, take care of her, and help us to reach out to various communities, help us to close that gap where a girl child has to go through harassment, has to go through female gender mutilation, has to go through early child marriage, has to go through teenage pregnancy. See how you can, as a leader in your own parastatal, what you can do within your small unit to ensure that the girl child is protected, her rights are also kept, and then she has her well-being properly managed. Thank you so much as you do so. May God bless you. We trust the Tinubu administration. We are pro-Tinubu. Thank you so much.
May this world become a safer and happier place for all the girl child in this world, around the world, so the girl child and children can live happily. And from here, us in Global TV, and of course, Mrs. Hiba Suleiman Idris was saying thank you very, very much for watching, and most especially warm wishes on the International Girl Child Day. I remain your host truly, Fauziya Lukman. Thank you so much for watching. Do have a wonderful day.